Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it is in your part of the world. A little bit on the cool side today, not too bad. Pretty nice day, actually. Hello, Steve. Sorry I had to leave your live last night. Hello, Arlene. Hello, Judy. Hello, Tony. Hello, Rick. Hello, Charlene. Hello, Sal. Guess that's everyone that's commented so far. 14 people in here. Hello, Sue. You heard me mention when I said hello to Steve that I had to leave his live last night. Had to take Smokey to the ER. During the day yesterday, I thought she was acting kind of funny, but nothing too serious. I figured call on Monday, get her an appointment. And then during the evening, she really wasn't acting herself. I knew there was something wrong with her. I didn't want to wait a couple more days, so I got her to the ER. I would have to get the paperwork out to look at it and show you exactly what was what, but her blood work wasn't as bad as it was around Thanksgiving time, but it wasn't good. Some stuff is high, some stuff is low. And the two things that they're thinking, it could be a liver shot or it could be a nutritional deficiency. So she came home with an antibiotic because it did look like she might have an infection because her white blood cell count was just barely elevated, but it was up a little higher than it should be. And one of the other indicators for the white blood cell count, that was a little high. So she came home with the antibiotic, 2 supplements, one of which I haven't been able to get her to take yet, and some prescription food, high calorie food, which they said she gobbled right down at the vet's office, but she doesn't want to eat it today. So I don't know what's up with that. Because apparently she likes the food. I don't know if she's just eating the food I have out for, so or I have out for all the cats, so that's why she's not hungry or what. Well, we're gonna try this. She's got to have a follow-up appointment at a regular vet. They said in 5 days, and if she's not improving, then go in 2 or 3 days. And they said if she keeps having these recurrent episodes like this, then they should test for the liver shot. But we'll see what happens with what she's on now. get back up here where I was. Yeah, I've been hearing about that, Charlene. Sounds like it's going to be pretty nasty up through there. Hello, Raymond. Thank you, Sal. Yeah, hopefully this works out and she quits getting sick. Hello, Demoose. But at least I got her there just as soon as I noticed something wasn't quite right. And she's very much underweight, and that can be both the nutritional deficiency or liver shot. They both can cause that. So that's why they're not really sure. So I think basically at this point, they're just trying to see if the nutritional deficiency is what it is. Get her eat some special food and see if she starts gaining weight and doing better. And then if not, then she'll have to be tested. They didn't, the vet did mention something about how they test for it, but I didn't really understand exactly what she was saying. But I did some research on it, and they're saying a combination of physical exam, blood test, I think x-rays, and it may have to do a CT scan and MRI. And then treatment is dependent on how bad it is, exactly where it is and stuff. And that can range from diet change and supplements and stuff like she's on now up to surgery. Hopefully she doesn't need the surgery. That's got to be done by a specialist. That can't be done in a regular vet's office. Thank you, Charlene. What happened to the bed on top of the tree? You mean because the side of it is pushed down? Oh, I see what you mean. Not the very top. Second one. They must have knocked it off. I heard something fall a few minutes ago. Must be that's what it was. Yeah, I know Lily likes to jump from the back of the chair onto the tree, and then from one part of the tree to another. And a little bit too big to be that rough with it. So I'll have to see if I can get that back on or if they broke it. Well, thank you, Judy. Well, I've been. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can get that muted. There we go. Well, my subscribers that should be watching my live now and not send me messages on Messenger, but that's what happens. On Wednesday, I was telling about having to take Sanford to the vet the day before. And then Sweetie went on Wednesday. I didn't think I was going to be going back until Friday when Tiger and Felix had going for their blood work to get ready for the surgery. Well, Thursday morning, Lily was on the arm of the chair here next to me, and Felix came and attacked him. And they got right into it, and then ended as soon as it started. They don't fight long, they just roll around on the floor a little bit and make an awful noise. Well, about 3 hours later, I noticed that Lily's head was all swelled up over his eye on the left side. And I figured he'd hit his head when they were rolling around on the floor. So, got an appointment. They were able to get him in later that day. Turns out it was an abscess. And I told her the way him and Felix been going at it. And she said most likely, she said either he got a toenail in his head or he got bit. But she said most likely he got bit. And she said cat's teeth are so thin that within a day it'd be healed up on the outside and I'd never know it. She said that's why bite wounds are so dangerous, because they'll heal up on the outside and you know they've been bit. And then it gets infected down inside. And that's what happened to him. Got infected with an abscess. When she popped it, got him cleaned up, gave him an antibiotic shot that worked for 2 weeks. And she said that worked very good in that type of infection. And then had the option of either getting a painkiller by shot that would last 24 hours, or I could get some tablets to give to him for a couple days. Well, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to give Lily tablets or not. I've never tried. And I kind of think he might be difficult taking a tablet. So she gave him the shot. Because she said that day, she said he's in a lot of pain. And she said it would last 24 hours. And by then, the antibiotic would start taking effect and he should be good. Hello, Lee. Hello, Wanda. Hello, Shane. So it's been a Very busy week. Then tomorrow, I got to stop in the vet's office and give them copies of all the paperwork from the ER and get an appointment scheduled for Smokey. Tuesday, excuse me, Tiger and Felix going to be neutered. Then I picked them up Wednesday. So going to be another busy week. But as far as I know, but as you can tell from the last week, stuff pops up all the time, especially with this many kids. As far as I know, the rest of the kitties are healthy. One of Rose's kittens isn't doing the greatest. He's skinny. He's not growing. I've been trying to do what I can do to get him to eat more. He doesn't want to eat from the bottle. And every chance I get, I try to put him onto either Candy Cane or Rose. But they've been down to pretty much, occasionally they both get in the box, but it's been pretty much just one or the other in there because the kittens are growing and it's getting crowded. So I gave them a bigger box today. I've been thinking about that for a couple of days, kind of hesitant to do it because I didn't want them to get mad at me and then move the kittens. But today I did it, and so far they're accepting of the new box. It's quite a bit bigger. It's not twice the size or anything, but it's probably, I would say, 6 inches longer and maybe 3 inches wider. So it gives them a little more room. So both mamas can be in there with the kittens now. Yeah, I'll come up with a name, Judy. I see I've got some suggestions here. Hello, Joanne. Hey, you're fine. Well, so I've been eating a little bit all day. Let's see. What was the first thing I had today? Can't remember. Then I had a hamburger. Okay, I had 2 hamburgers today. 2 hamburgers. More of my low-carb bagels. And I got some pork jolls out of the freezer. Letting them thaw out in the refrigerator. Gonna have them tonight. And I haven't had any bacon yet today. I may end up having some bacon too. And thank you for the reminder and the thumbs up, Arlene. Nice, Judy. Anyone notice the chickens on the thumbnail? That was just before it got cold, and I put some more shavings in the coop for them. And they were afraid of the shavings. So they all huddled together in that corner. So I grabbed a picture of them. Hi, sweetie. You sweetie. She's not so sweet when she gets her medicine. She was good the first couple times. But now, I scarf her by the back neck so I can give it to her. But she still to move her front legs. And she tries to push my hand away with her front legs. And she's got me underneath my fingernail twice. Today I tried coming in from the side. She still got me. I've got a wrap that's specifically to wrap cats up and you give them medicine. But I can't find it. They don't cost much. So I think I'm going to get another one. Then I can wrap her legs to her body so she can't do that to me. You heard me. You hurt Daddy. You've hurt Daddy twice in the past few days. You have. And I don't know how many of you ever got a cat's toenail underneath your fingernail, but it hurts. Hello, Kay. Eating's a good thing to do. Hello, DJ Turneroo. Hello, Rachel. Well, here comes Sylvester. Yep, Sal, I sure do love bacon. You don't have to get down, sweetie. I was just going to pick up Sylvester. And bacon's good for you, too. Yep, now you know why the chickens were all huddled up. Just acting like fools. No, she doesn't want that medicine. But she's getting better. She doesn't have the congestion that she did have. She did sneeze this morning or last night. But her sneezing has gone way down from what it was. So, definitely getting better. Yep, I'm definitely getting another one, Joanne. I forgot what it cost, but it wasn't much. I think it was less than $10. And it's well worth spending another $10 if it's going to prevent getting a toenail in my hand like that. Hello, John. Yeah, I know you can sell, but I'll tell you, that's the reason that I won't raise pigs. Well, one of the reasons. Hey, Sylvester, you that cord alone. Sylvester's trying to disconnect us. The farm that I was living at in New York before I came to Arkansas, guy had pigs, and they were getting out all the time. And pigs are difficult to get back in. So that's one thing I don't want to deal with. And another thing, I won't raise any animals to be processed. I'm not against anyone else doing that. I'll eat the meat, but just if I raise them or have a close connection with them, no. Actually, the only reason I didn't have any bacon yet today is I got to open a new package. Yes, allergies are bad. I normally don't have to take an allergy pill every day, but I've been taking one pretty much every day. And there's been a day or two I've taken two in a day. Well, I refinished my floors last fall, Wanda. And someday you're going to see a video on that. Yeah, Wanda's been after me to get that video done of the work that was done on the house. Sylvester, behave. Yeah, those potbelly pigs are nice. Hello, Joy. Not me, Joanne. I don't eat pets. Hello, Eddie. I don't know how that got highlighted. I'll tell you what, Wanda. I guarantee you It will be in 2026. Well, thank you, Kay. I had a Sylvester years ago. That one had a lot more white on it than this one, but the face was similar. My last one did have a little more white on his face, but the markings were similar. So that's why I had to name this one Sylvester. I've heard of that, Sal. I've heard that's what potbelly pigs are known for. They just think they're dogs. Oh, I thought you actually knew Joanne. Hello, Anne. Yeah, I know you're teasing, Wanda, but it is long overdue. Sylvester, what are you doing? Hey, stop. Knew he was something, and it wasn't the cord to the camera, so I thought it was okay. He was chewing on the electric cord for my laptop. Well, I don't think he was really chewing on it, but he was playing with it with his mouth. He wasn't really biting down on it, though. Hello, Emily. Yeah, I gotta be careful with my chickens and not get too many roosters because a lot of people say, "Oh, just eat the roosters." Well, I'm not gonna. So that's why I always get the sex birds so I can get the number of roosters I want and get the rest hens. Okay, have a good night, Joanne. No, actually, I watched a few minutes of a live on Facebook, not too long, like 15 minutes before I started my live, of a guy that does cat rescues. Well, he rescues any animals, but it's mainly cats that he does. But he's rescued possums and raccoons and stuff also. and he was doing a live. Lives somewhere in New York City. I'm not exactly sure where it is. And snow just nicely gotten started there. It looked like there was less than an inch on the ground. Yeah, 23 thumbs up. And there are 28 people in here right now. Actually, this is saying 26. You know, that said 26. And so a few people forgot to hit the thumbs up. So what's up? What else is going on? Well, dog's doing good. I'm making plans to build a hangout spot for them. Because when I make the porch into a catio, they're not going to have that anymore. And they like laying up on the porch. Because they got the roof over it. They're up off the ground. Of course, it depends on the weather. Nice sunny day, they like to lay right out in the yard in the sun, too. But I want to have at some kind of area, eventually have a covering over it. So they can hang out there if it's raining. It'll be a place where I go out, sit out there with them. I know the cats can't wait to have their catio. Well, thank you for sharing it out. What you doing, Sylvester? Sylvester, why'd you do that? Sylvester started playing with the strap on the end of my cane and ended up knocking it over. But I caught it. Yeah, I'll be doing a video when I start working on the catio, Emily. Oh, yeah, Sal, that's what puppies do. Puppies and kittens, both. That's cold, Emily. Whoops. Oh, it did both of them. You know, Wanda showed up just as I was hitting send on mine. But Night Knot was good. It did both of them. Yeah, 44 here. Kind of chilly. If anyone's wondering the flavor of the day, it's maple sleigh. Then I added some vanilla to it. I'll tell you what, Emily. If someone would send us 70, 80, 90 degrees, I'd send you the 44. But someone got to send us 70 plus before I'll do it. And I don't think we're going to be getting any 70 plus. We had some last week. Oh, I guess we do have a few days coming up. Next Saturday is mid 70s. I don't understand the way they do these forecasts on here. They have 72 on here, but then when you actually read the forecast, it says high in the mid 60s. So I guess next Saturday is the only day we're supposed to have in the 70s. Well, just today and tomorrow are supposed to be the really cold days. Then back into the 60s. Yeah, we came darn close to 80. I think I'd have to go back and look because I've got to look see how high it actually got. Well, I actually saw on the thermometer that it was 77 one day. And tonight we're supposed to be lower 20s. 30 tomorrow night. And then from Tuesday on, much better. Yep. Okay, it's like that all over. You can go right from 70 degrees one day to a snowstorm the next day. Yeah, fortunately, we won't be seeing 9 degrees here again. This forecast here goes through March 3rd. And then it'll be too late to get down to single numbers again. That normally only happens once during the winter, sometimes twice. Just stay down there for 2 or 3 days, and then it goes back up. No, you're not the only one, Emily. Arlene's got snow. Charlene's got snow. Wanda's going to be getting snow. Heard one behind me here just a minute ago. Actually, look right up the very top of the cat tree, Wanda. There was someone up there. I don't know where they all are right now. Tiger's right over here. It is weird that there's not more of them around here right now. Chickens still haven't started laying, but I think it might be a light issue. Teddy. Because I don't have them free ranging yet, and I don't have an enclosure built to get them out. I think I might turn them loose. Just don't want them to get out near the road. And I don't have the dogs around the perimeter of the yard to keep predators out. That's why I haven't done it yet. But there's just 2 windows in the coop, and they both face the north. So there's not an awful lot of light in there. I think there might just not be enough light for them. I've got to count them, Wanda. I'm not exactly sure how many I do have. Oh, there's someone. Looks like Oreo. I can't see his whole face. Yep, Oreo behind me now. Hello, Lauren. Are you talking about today? I haven't heard from Reverend Dream. I don't know. In 2 or 3 days? Wednesday night. It was after my live on Wednesday. I feed my chickens 18% layer pellets. I know some say it should be more, but I go with the 18, and I always have good luck with that if they're getting enough light and they're not molting, all that good stuff. Yeah, 18 is what they sell at the co-op where I get my feed from. Oh yeah. Yeah, he contacted me about that. And then I heard it on your live Friday night. And then on his live last night, he was asking me if I was going. I thought I told him when he first told me about it that I definitely was going to be going, but either he misunderstood or I didn't tell him. I thought I did. But I told him last night that I'm definitely going. It's on my calendar. Yeah, the 18% layer pellet is $14.99 a bag. So it's a good price on it. The dogs are doing good, Wanda. Yeah, every time I go out on the porch, they try to knock me down. Yeah, Lauren, he sure did. You wanted to make sure I was going to be there. I love that park. Yeah, you ought to see the dogs out there. They go out in the yard over here on this side. Most often, that'll be where they'll go. And I always have that curtain open when I'm not live. So I'll see them laying out there. I just say their name and they'll look up, look through the window at me, and then come running up on the porch. That is one I've never heard, Lauren. I've heard feed them back some of the eggs and give them a little bit of cat food. I've heard all kinds of things, but I've never heard the pinto beans. I think what I'm going to do, I still got to get the nesting boxes up. I think I'm going to get the nesting boxes up so they can get used to them being in the coop. So hopefully they'll go back in the coop to lay in the nesting boxes. And then I'll just let them free range and just hope they don't wander too far. You know, if they get outside and get more daylight and stuff, that would definitely help. And getting the perimeter fence up for the dogs is going to be easier than I thought it was going to be. I came up with another idea. Instead of putting T-posts in, put insulators on the T-post, run the wire, I'm just going to use those plastic fence posts that you pound in that have the hooks built right into them to run the wire through. Those are easy to put in. Because with the temporary fence I have around the house, after the snow came off the roof and flattened it and broke two of the posts, I had to replace those posts. And they went in nice and easy. Still didn't think anything of it. And then a few more places, fence is sagging down a little bit. And I just want to get a little more secure. Because the fiberglass posts that came with this netting, they're not the greatest. So I got 3 of them the other day. Don't loan my car. Got thinking, you know, I can use these to build a perimeter fence. That'll make it so much easier. And this area right around the house that they have now, they'll still be keeping that. And then they'll out back and over the other side of the driveway and stuff. That I'm gonna go around with 2 fences, probably 10 feet or so, open area for them, so they can get around the perimeter. And then the chicken to have the whole area inside. Of course, they're going to fly over the fence if they want to, but I'm hoping they don't. And then that should keep them secure. That should keep the raccoons and possums. Although I haven't had a problem with the possums. Because last winter, when it was cold, I had 2 possums go in the coop. I couldn't get them out. Because I wanted to close up the coop that night. And I couldn't because the possums were in there. So I had to leave that open. Next morning, possums were gone. I still had all my chickens. But raccoons, they're another story. You'll have to try that, Lauren. Yes, I'm sure they will, Wanda. Hello, King Corso. Um, what else? Oh, I took about a week break from my, not quite a week, about 6 days for my diet because something was messing with my stomach. And second day of taking a break from it, I felt better than I have in weeks. I think it was the stevia. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what was messing with me. So now we'll try that, see what happens. Um, I think that's about everything. Talked about the birds, dogs, cats, myself. Can anyone else think of anything? Here comes Sylvester. Yeah, I just got to talk about the chickens, Emily. Yeah, the only problem with those plastic fence posts is it's not quite as high as I would like it. I'd like to have it 4 foot high, but it'd be almost there. I did find some posts that are 50 inches, and there's 9.8 inches goes in the ground, so we'll round it off to 10. That's going to leave 40 inches, and it's set for a wire to be put right on the top. Hey, sweetie. That should work, because these dogs aren't big jumpers. I don't think they're going to jump over 40 inches. And a lot of A lot of times when people say how high a dog can jump, they're not jumping, they're climbing. And believe me, these dogs will not climb an electric fence. Because every now and then they stick their nose on it to see if it's still energized. And they don't touch it again for a while after that. Okay, Sal. Hopefully you have some good news on that. Well, so far, from the research I've done on it, I think I'll be ordering the fence post and the wire from Amazon. Because I'm going to need close to 100 posts. And I don't see being able to fit 100 posts in my car. Atwoods and Tractor Supply both have them for about half the price that I can get them in Waldron for. But I would want to get them all in one trip if I'm traveling an hour away to get them. And I really don't want to spend over $5 a post when I can get them for $2.59. With Amazon, they're just about the same price as Tractor Supply and Atwoods. But that includes delivery. And then I already have, I may have 2 rolls of the poly wire with the metal in it that they use for electric fencing. It looks like a thin rope, but it's actually got metal in it. Same type of stuff that the poultry netting is made out of. I just got to figure out how much more of that I'm going to need. Yep, that's right, Kay. Because those 3 posts that I got last week with tax, they came to $16. $16 and some cents. So that's why I'm saying they must be around $5 a piece. So I don't want to pay twice as much to be able to get them locally. If they were a good price local, then I'd just get a few at a time. But when I'm going way off, don't want to do it. What's for supper? Well, I've got some pork jowls in the refrigerator thawing up right now. Actually, they're thawed up now. I checked them before the live, and they're thawed up. So, be having them. And if I'm up late enough tonight, I'll probably have some bacon later on. I don't know how late I'll be staying up tonight. I did take a short nap this afternoon. I got to bed kind of late last night. It was 5 o'clock this morning before I got to bed. And then I couldn't sleep this morning. I was awake between 9:30 and 10. So I only got maybe 4.5 hours sleep. You know what, Judy? Yeah, you're saying you want to be here to protect me? You're looking for a reason to come see the kittens. I know why you want to come. But you're welcome to do that. By storm fencing, you mean snow fence, Wanda? So if that's what you're talking about, I haven't seen any. Are you talking about his little chihuahua, Judy? They can be vicious. Well, the reason, I don't know if you were in here, Kay, earlier when I was telling, I had to take Smokey to the ER last night. I left here about 10:30, and I didn't get home until 4 o'clock this morning. And then by the time I gave her medicine and did some research on what was wrong with her, I didn't get to bed till 5 o'clock. So that was why. I don't know. I used to be able to sleep during the day, but I'm getting so now I can't sleep during the day anymore. I take a nap, but I can't sleep long periods of time. And I used to work third shift, and I had no trouble sleeping during the day then. I guess it's because I was doing it every day. Hello, Eunice. Nope, he's not on the road yet. They were saying to have his bus done Wednesday. And he plans on leaving soon after that. And thank you for posting the information on the meetup, Arlene. And I will be having a committee meeting on that coming up soon. A day hasn't been set yet. We'll have to figure that out. And then hopefully, I got some ideas floating around in my head. But I don't want to say too much until I can talk to someone and we can start planning some stuff. And then I'll let everyone know a little more on that. Yeah, I doubt that there is any snow fence around here, Wanda. Because we only get usually one storm during the winter. And it's usually not blowing snow like where a snow fence would come in handy. Well, you're welcome, Kay. Yeah, I got it caught early before she got real bad. So that makes it a little bit easier to treat her. Well, my coffee's almost gone. So maybe it's about time for me to go. Well, the cats are coming back out around, but they're just not over here where you can see them. Hey, Dream. Here. Come here, Dream. You hear Dream. Come here, sweetie. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Teddy's over there. Felix. There's Domino. Look, Dream. There's your son. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Ace. It's too bad it couldn't snow at your house 12 months a year. I know you would love it. Yes, Al, I love my coffee too. Yeah, it makes me wonder, Emily, when the kids get quiet, it's not a good sign. I'll refuse delivery, Emily. You'll get it right back. Okay, you have a good night, Kay. Well, oh, absolutely, Wanda. Can't function without coffee. What you doing, Sylvester? Well, I think it's about time. Yeah, I gotta make some chili sometime. No tomatoes, and much as I like beans, I won't be able to put beans in it. Yeah, fortunately, I didn't have to do too much shoveling. I'd do a little bit. But at least it was only one storm. About time to sign off, Eddie. That took time. About what time? um, you got the crown, Wanda? Congratulations. Well, have another live Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central. And it's going to be kind of a busy week. But I'm going to try to get back into videos. I think I can do driving videos now. Because I actually used that phone mount that I had. I used that last night. Put my phone up there for Google Maps. I know how to get to the ER, but it's just I'm always afraid I might miss the last turn. So I always set up Google Maps for it. Had that up there the whole way up there. I held my phone. I was able to glance over at it, see how many more miles it was. Worked out good. So I think I'll be able to film from that. I'm going to try that tomorrow. I'm going down the road. I'm going to do some filming. How many cats? Well, Oriole's the black and white one behind my chair. Then I think that's Fluffy up on top of the tree. And that might be Lily. Second one down. Yep, that's Lily. There's 3 cats showing there right now. I'm seeing 2 on the tree, and there's one right behind me. No, there gets 2 on the tree. Well, sometimes they do, Eddie. Especially on the tree on the other side of the room that you're not seeing. A lot of times there'll be 2 of them over there in a bed. Hello, Jim. Yeah, so you got here right at the end. But I appreciate you stopping in. I'll have another live Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.